Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it Protecting the Seed. What do I mean by that? Imagine a field of grass and it's filled with a lot of weeds, bad grass or so. Well, this bad grass is what is referred to as thoughts, okay? When you're born, your mind is an empty field and there's just it's the purity of innocence, right? And then you're beginning to taught beliefs. These are thoughts, and these are the weeds. All of them are weeds. You know why? Because every single thought is identified. It's for the sake of identifying with the character you seem to be. So even though maybe positive thoughts, they are still weeds, because they're thoughts that are, again, giving you a sense of identity. Because what you are is not positive nor negative. What you are simply is the field itself, the empty field. So what happens? The moment you start believing all these thoughts and you have a sense of identity, you are surrounded with weeds. Even when the weeds may appear to be positive and wonderful, they're still weeds because they are distractions to what you are. So then comes a point where there's a part of you that just wants to know who it is, because you realize that even though you have all the weeds, maybe positive or whatever, there's a sense of incompleteness. And the reason is because all the attention goes to the weeds, forgetting that you are actually the field itself, the empty field in which everything seems to appear. So you want to clean that up so you can remember that you are that field. So all of a sudden, this idea that you simply are the field and not the weeds it settles in. It's the seed that I'm talking about here. You see, it's not a seed so that something grow in the field. It's funny because I don't know what other words to use, but it's the seed that gets rid of everything that is in the field. Okay, so that seed needs to be protected because it's easy to be distracted by all the thoughts and everything. And these videos are pointing to that seed, and the seed is non-conceptual. When you don't identify with the concept of the mind, then all of a sudden you're protecting the seed. You see? When you don't believe anything the mind is trying to tell you, you're not distracted with the weeds, and you're now protecting the seed. Now, to make it practical in this world of appearances, this is what I mean by protecting the seed. In the end, if you don't identify with any thought, that would be it. But because there's so strong identification with the sense of identity, the way I protect the seed is that, let's say that there are audios or books or videos or things that you know that helps you remember who you are. Not so that you can become addicted to them, because if you're addicted to reading and listening to videos and audios all the time, then you're still in the mind. It's the conceptual mind. Got a friend of mine that sometimes send me, "Hey Nick, what do you think about this video?" And I said, "Look, why do you keep sending me these videos? What is the point? I mean, if you already know the truth of what you are, this is just more mind stuff." That's why he's so caught up in the mind, doesn't know how to get out of the mind. Well, because you keep feeding it. You see, you protect the seed, but it's so you can have the recognition. You see, it's like, for example, if I'm going to tell you, I cannot describe you what does it feel like being wet. It's impossible. But I can use words that says, okay, walk to that swimming pool, jump in the water. You see? And if you do that and you jump in the water, then I ask you, how does it feel? And you go, well, that's it. You don't have to answer me. I'm just simply pointing to the fact that you know what it feels like being wet. Well, the same thing with videos and audios and books. They're fine, but again, if we eventually become more food for the mind, then it deceives the whole purpose. That's why everything points to silence. So in this case, let's say you find audios that you feel that helps you remember. It brings you back to the space. Well, you listen to these audios all the time. When I take my walks, I do about an hour or so walk. I love to listen to these audios because they're feed for the soul, but I don't need them. I don't listen to them 24 hours. It's just like when I'm walking, and sometimes I don't feel like listening to anything, but I enjoy it. Well, this is protecting the seed, you see. And then I also noticed that there's certain company that I no longer resonate with. So I just distance myself from that. I'm not in avoidance of anything. I'm just noticing that I love just being. You see? That is protecting the seed. And as the seed is being protected, that doesn't mean the weeds are not going to be there. They will still show up, because as long as the human experience continues, the weeds will show up, doubts will show up, thoughts will show up. But now they can be seen because the attention is on the seed, you see. The priority is the seed. That's why I always say that this is very simple. You need to find out how to figure out your life. That's figure out on its own. You just got to begin with the most important thing, what you desire more than anything else. You want peace? You want inner peace? Then inner peace is not something you have to look for. I got great news for you. Inner peace is what you're resting on right now. Except that when you're identified with the content of the mind. Right now you are in peace. But if you identify with the content of the mind, you're overlooking it. You're not pretending. I mean, it's not gone. It's there. It's being overlooked. And you may say, but my mind is going crazy. Of course, I understand. It took you many years to identify with the mind. Now we're basically, little by little, disidentify with it, because in the end, the core of this is the fact that you are. And the mind doesn't want to go there, because the mind, it wants you to believe that you are something, or in this case, someone. You see? This is the death that we're pointing to, which is not a suicide. It's not letting go of the body. It's just simply letting go of the concept that I am a body. And that concept is being reinforced. Not only I'm a body, but I'm a father, I am a mother, I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a boyfriend, I am a girlfriend, I am good, I am bad, I am pretty, I'm ugly, I'm successful, I'm a failure, I want this, I don't want that. This is, you see, look at all the weeds, you see, that are there to sustain the sense of identity. And the mind will try to throw curves. That means that if I work so hard to become a doctor, now I am nothing and I cannot say I'm a doctor. No, you still play the role of a doctor. The difference is you're not believing in it. You see? And you enjoy it. You love playing doctor. You love playing pilot. You love playing musician. You love playing mother. But that doesn't define you. You know, I was watching a video a while ago where it usually tend to happen that a woman that says, after my children went to school, I became depressed because I lost my identity, who I am. Because she thought she was a mother. You see? If she's conscious, she plays the role of a mother, and then when the child goes to school, she doesn't go, I'm no longer a mother. She knows that she was never a mother. I was a role she was playing for a while. You are not who you think you are, yet you simply are. You see? It doesn't mean you're not going to do the things you love to do. The thing is that the difference is that you will still do them, because it's not you doing them anyway. That's life doing them through you. But you know what I'm pointing to is that you still do them, you still enjoy them, but you know that that's not who you are. That's just what you do. That's it. I'm not a speaker but if I put in a platform to speak, it appears as if I'm a speaker for those who believe that. I don't believe that. I just simply see myself talking. Right now I'm talking in front of a camera, and if I'm on a stage, I'm talking in front of people. Big difference, no difference. That's it. I have written books. That doesn't make me an author, but if you want to believe I'm an author, be my guest. Think whatever you want. I make music. Does it make me a musician? No, I just see how life used the instrument to make music. You want to label a musician? Be my guest, do what you want. But I know that I am. This video is about the recognition that I am. And you are. And this doesn't take away your identity and leave you in depression. That takes away the false identity and leave you in freedom, in happiness. You don't have to hold on to a character anymore. I don't have to sustain this anymore. I don't have to please people in order to try to be who I think I am or who they want me to be. I am just being. And you're free. You're happy. Yes, and sometimes you'll be sadness, and sadness happening within the happiness that you are, because the sadness is a temporary emotional experience. But you are the background, and the background is the happiness I'm talking about, which is permanent. The background doesn't change. Everything happens within it, or seems to happen within it. Right now, whatever is happening in your life is a happening. The problem is you call it your life. But whatever is happening in life is you playing the role of that. Actually, everything happens in you as capital Y, but I'm talking within this seeming appearance. We are, or life is, everything happens in life, you see? And that you who you think you are, it's also happening in life. And what you are is life, is not the you. And this cannot be understood or trapped with the mind. But if you really are willing to look into it, you see that it's very obvious. I am happening in all that there is. But what I am is all that there is. And how do I recognize? Again, I don't recognize that. Nobody would recognize it, but I don't know what words to use. How this recognition becomes obvious. Don't identify with any thoughts, because the thoughts are the ones that are telling you that you are you. You see? I believe I made a video that is called How Do You Know You Were Yourself? I think so. I'll check it out. If I do, I'll put the link on the description. And if I don't, I'll make another one about it. But I think I did. How do you think you are you? Because you believe a thought that says you are you. But without the thought, what are you? Without the thought, you are. You see? That's the famous I am. God is. Love is. It's not that God is this. Not that love is this. Not that I am this. I am. Or I. And if you're using the concept I as a mental construct to say I, then even throw that away. You're not even I. You simply are. That's it. And life happens. It will unfold as it will unfold. I don't know what life is going to do with this instrument. I don't know how long this instrument is going to be in this earth. Not because I had any health issues, but because I don't know. Life at any point can unplug me if it wants to. But so far, while it has me plugged in, it has me making videos, and it has me doing whatever the character is supposed to do. I don't know. You see? And this is a recognition that you are. We're pointing to the fact that you are. And if you rest in there, rest in that peace that we're pointing to, then you see life happening and you don't take it personal. Nothing is personal. And it allows you to see that whatever everybody else does is not personal. That's what they were conditioned to do. And that allows you to open yourself to a more compassionate space. Because I know that you're not doing anything to me. You're doing whatever you're supposed to be doing in the same way that I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing. You see? And then we can be, again, kinder to ourselves and consequently kinder to others. And even when I say kinder to ourselves, I should put quotations in too, because it's not a myself, you know. But within the world of appearances, where it appears that there's a you watching a video and me talking about this, well, this is the language we're using. But in the end, language is being left aside. How do you know the sugar cane? How does it taste? Well, language is not going to help you find what that is. But language can be used, like the example of getting wet. Language can be used to say, go to that thing, it's called a sugarcane field. get a sugar cane, break it, and chew on it. That's as far as I can go with words. And then you have the experience, you have the taste of it, and there's no need to talk about it anymore. So, we don't need to talk about this anymore. Just don't believe anything you think, and rest in what you are. Well, this is the inspiration that came through this instrument. I hope it served, and as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.